Virtual reality gaming. Once a sci-fi fantasy, now a core part of modern gaming culture. We've come a long way from clunky headsets and basic tech demos. Today, VR offers blockbuster experiences, thriving multiplayer worlds, and innovative indie gems. But how did we get here? Where does VR stand right now? And what's next for this ever-evolving space? Let's take a deep dive into the world of VR gaming today. When people doubted VR's potential, it took just a few landmark titles to silence the critics. Half-Life: Alyx wasn't just a game, it was a statement. A fully fledged AAA experience built exclusively for VR, proving that immersive storytelling and gameplay could reach new heights when players are placed directly inside the world. Players weren't just watching the story unfold, they were living it. From physically reloading weapons to rummaging through shelves for ammo, Alyx set a new standard. Then came Resident Evil 4 VR, a brilliant reimagining of a beloved classic. Suddenly, familiar horror felt fresh and terrifying again when you had to aim, reload, and survive with your own two hands. These weren't experiments. They were proof that VR could deliver unforgettable, fully realized experiences. But VR didn't stop at single-player epics. The true explosion came when developers tapped into something even more powerful: connection. Games like Beat Saber transformed rhythm gaming into a new dimension. What started as a solo experience quickly evolved into competitive multiplayer, custom songs, and even VR fitness communities. Meanwhile, shooters like Pavlov VR and Onward turned VR into a tactical playground, where communication and reflexes blended seamlessly with physical interaction. And beyond gaming, platforms like VRChat and Rec Room redefined what playing together means. These social VR spaces became virtual hangouts, places to chat, attend concerts, play minigames, or just explore wild user-created worlds. In a time where digital connection matters more than ever, VR became more than just games. It became a social platform. While big studios grabbed headlines, it's been the indie scene fueling VR's creative fire. Titles like Boneworks introduced sandbox physics that gave players unprecedented freedom. Suddenly, VR wasn't just about scripted actions, it was about experimenting, interacting, and breaking the rules. Games like The Room VR proved that slower-paced, atmospheric experiences could thrive, offering deeply engaging puzzle solving without the need for fast reflexes. And then you have surprises like Gorilla Tag, a free-to-play indie hit where movement is entirely based on using your arms to run, climb, and swing. No buttons, no joysticks, just pure physical fun. These developers are constantly asking, what can VR do that traditional games can't? And they're answering it in ways no one expected. Of course, none of this would be possible without the rapid evolution of VR hardware. From the early days of tethered headsets and room-scale sensors, we've moved to powerful standalone devices like the Meta Quest 3, offering wireless freedom with impressive performance. High-end options like the Valve Index and PSVR 2 push graphical fidelity and tracking precision to new levels. Even accessories like haptic vests, VR treadmills, and advanced controllers are expanding what's possible in virtual environments. VR tech is getting cheaper, lighter, and more accessible, bringing more players into the fold every year. But it's not all smooth sailing. VR still faces major hurdles. Motion sickness remains a barrier for some players, and despite progress, high-end setups can still be expensive and require space. Content variety is growing, but many genres, like deep RPGs or large-scale open worlds, are still underrepresented. And let's be honest, not every VR game hits the mark. There's still a fair share of shallow experiences or glorified tech demos flooding digital stores. So what's next? With companies like Apple, Meta, and Sony doubling down on VR and AR, the future looks bright, and possibly blended with augmented reality experiences. We're already seeing glimpses of AAA VR titles in development, better cross-platform support, and more hybrid experiences that mix flat-screen gaming with VR elements. As technology improves and developers continue to innovate, VR is poised to move from niche to mainstream, not just in gaming, but in social interaction, fitness, education, and beyond. VR gaming has evolved from a curiosity to a dynamic, diverse ecosystem of experiences. Whether you're exploring dystopian worlds, battling friends in rhythm games, or hanging out in virtual spaces, there's something in VR for everyone. What do you think is the next big leap for VR gaming? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more veteran insights into the games shaping tomorrow. This is Veteran Game. See you in VR.